One of my all-time favorite quotes is naturally from Stephen King, and it is, "Fear can hold you prisoner, hope can set you free," from Rita Hayworth and Shawshank Redemption. Fear is something that I have struggled with so much throughout my life, and perhaps you have too. Panic attacks and anxiety, both of which I struggle with, are the physical embodiment of fear. Yet while I am pretty fearful, I'm also pretty courageous. It takes courage to self-publish your own books, knowing full well that you might make no money from it. I published 11 books in 2021 as Diana Vale, not including these two duets and some box sets, but here I have 11. And I'm now making between £80 and £100 per month from these books, which is a big step up from where I was 1 year ago. But I'm aiming to publish between 6 and 8 books in 2022, including Tic-Tac-Toe, which shall be under Zarina Matcha. It takes courage to sit in front of a camera and film yourself, God knows who to see, knowing full well that you might be subject to critique and ridicule. It takes courage to enter a writing competition and to have your work judged against many others. And I am also very proud of the fact that in 2021 I won for this little book, and I'm also currently rereading it as the bookmark. It's pretty scary to be on public display like this, but I believe that to be a writer is to be courageous. And in 2018, which is when this whole thing started, I took a pretty big risk. Not only did I self-publish a novel, I self-published a novel that is filled with taboo and controversial themes like rape, drug abuse, murder, and unlikable protagonists. I am really selling it here. You can't have a thin skin if you're an artist, because to be an artist is to showcase vulnerability. This especially comes through in one of the most vulnerable written mediums next to songwriting, that is poetry. And I am slightly scared of the fact that I have several poems explicitly about sex, because sex is another taboo subject. I often think to myself, oh my god, I'm a shit writer, my books are terrible, am I an idiot? Being an artist does come with a lot of fear. I'm planning on doing 2 rather scary things in 2022. The first scary thing is that the book I'm going to publish, Tic-Tac-Toe, which I'm going to be doing a full video talking about in January, it is a controversial book because it's a critique on militant wokeness, identity politics, cancel culture, and intersectional feminism, and these are controversial topics. But I like to think outside the mainstream, and I do tend to question the mainstream way of thought. I've always been a skeptical person, and I've always been someone who likes to think the way I want to think. A good example is the mainstream consensus on the last season of Game of Thrones was that it sucked, but I personally loved it and I thought the ending was beautiful. I think it's fine if people didn't like the ending, but there was definitely a major overreaction, and this whole outrage culture thing feels like it is getting to a point where it's completely out of control. It's a very strange and scary world when people become afraid to state their opinions on a television show for fear of social outrage, but this is the world we're living in now. And for the last maybe 8 years, ever since my mid-teens, I've been someone who has strong and often unpopular opinions, but I don't go out of my way to offend people or to be contrarian or any of that nonsense. It just so happens that because I'm constantly questioning things, that can be threatening, so others can perceive that as me being offensive or controversial, etc. But to go back to the theme of fear, I genuinely hate the idea of people disliking me, and I hate the idea of hurting people's feelings. There's been so many times in my life where I have not said or acted in a way that is true to what I genuinely think because I'm trying to be accommodating of someone else's feelings. I want people to think fundamentally that I'm a nice person, I want people to like me, and I want people to like my books. But I can't control what people think of me or what people think of my work, and it is a waste of time trying to please others because it is impossible. And so the second scary thing that I am planning on doing in 2022 is I am starting a second YouTube channel which has nothing to do with writing. It's going to be called Non-Feminist Gal, and yes, it's all about why I as a woman am against feminism. It's going to be critiquing feminism, and yes, that is controversial, but it's important to me, especially as a young woman, critiquing an ideology which I perceive to be damaging and which I find that a lot of women get coerced into or pressured into adopting. But I shouldn't be afraid to be honest about something I believe in, because A, it's just an opinion, and B, we should be able to have open discussions about these things. And I don't want to be scared of my opinions, or scared that my books are bad, or scared that I might offend people because I haven't used sensitivity readers. But something I have found, which is also rather interesting, is most people aren't actually that fussed about accommodating other people's feelings. People who have left bad reviews on my books did not care about my feelings. The woke militant activists online and offline don't care about my feelings. There are plenty of feminist YouTubers out there who make videos happily discussing feminism, and they don't give a toss whether or not you agree or disagree with them. They're just happily showcasing their opinions. So why should I be so scared to say what I really think? Why should I be so scared to detail my thoughts and all that? Being a writer takes courage, and maybe instead of being afraid to express myself as I am, I should just embrace myself as I am, whether it's in the context of art or socio-political commentary, TV show endings. Maybe if we stopped being so scared of what others think of us and just own who we are and have confidence in ourselves, life will become easier. So my message to you is to make 2022 the year that you show courage. Whatever you think, whatever you want to do, whether it's to write, to travel, to join a political party, or start a YouTube channel, do it. Life is too short to waste time being scared, and in the grand scheme of things, it's really not going to matter. Short-term humiliation is definitely worth long-term peace of mind. Always remember, fear can hold you prisoner, but hope can set you free. Have a wonderful 2022, and blessings and joy for the new year.